The number one question people have about retirement is how much I need to retire. 56% of Americans don't know how much they need to retire. And we're going to discuss that here today on part 2 of how much I need to retire. Thank you for watching. This is Richard with Wisdom Investor. We have an interesting situation going on. We mentioned 56% of the people don't know how much they need to retire. We have 10,000 people retiring every day. Those that are not in retirement age think Social Security will not be around. And then we also have approximately half of adults not saving for retirement. So this makes for a very interesting question here on how much a person needs to save for retirement. Now, there's a couple of factors that we have to consider when we talk about how much money a person needs to retire. We're looking at the average age by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, how much a person's salary is at a particular age. Here we have 20 to 24-year-olds, average salary about $29,000. Keep in mind, this is full-time wage earners, salary earners. It's not including your part-time earners. 25 to 34, $41,000. 45 to 54, $52,143. 55 to 64, $51,714. And 65 plus, earning $48,685. Other factors to consider: a person may have to take in consideration their lifestyle, health condition, insurance cost in the future, taxes. Do you own a house? Will you continue to work after 65? When you take Social Security, is it going to be in 62? Or are you going to wait till 66 or 70? And what the cost of living is in your area. According to the Certified Financial Planning Organization, 44% of the people are planning for retirement, 48% are not. Approximately half of adults are not saving for retirement, according to the CFP board. Also in that survey, they said that half of adults think people should start saving for retirement in their 20s, while 1 in 5 think adults should start saving for retirement in their teens. So for our conversation here today, what we're going to focus on is the income in the 65 plus area. So as of right now, the average income for all folks in this survey is about $48,000, but we're going to focus on this income at 65 plus, and we'll also look at 55 to 64. As a person works through their career, they typically, their income continues higher, but as you get into those 60 to 65-year-old, maybe 55 to 65 also, your income may start to decrease. So we're going to base our calculations on this number here around 65 plus. Fidelity Investments puts out a good chart on how much you need to be saving for retirement. So we're going to focus on this 60 to 67 range and accumulating 8 to 10 times your salary. So we're back to our average salary by age. 65 plus, they estimate around $48,000. Again, that could be higher, that could be lower depending on your situation. So we're going to do some samples here. If a person was 65, making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, and $70,000. Keep in mind as we go over these numbers, 1 in 5 Americans have less than $5,000 saved for retirement. Everybody's in a different stage in their life. Everybody's saving different amounts. So the main thing here, if you have not done anything, get started. So we're going to look at some numbers here and just get some ideas here on what it takes to retire. Okay, here's our first sample. 65 years old, making $30,000 per year. We're going to use the 10 times salary formula, and that's going to be $300,000. If you take the 4% rule, that's going to be about $1,000 per month for 25 years withdrawal. A person making about $30,000 is going to have a Social Security income of about $1,300 per month. Total monthly income would be about $2,600 per month in this scenario. You would have to adjust your lifestyle to this $2,600 month income. Now let's take a look at if we had an investment return of 4% on this $300,000. Again, you could make more than that. You may make less. I'm just being very conservative here. You started off taking $1,000 per month. You're going to increase it by 2% per year. This money, $300,000, would last you 29 years. By the time you get to the 29th year, you'd be taking out $1,290. That would give you some inflation protection. Also figuring in a 22% tax rate. Let's look at the next scenario. 65 years old, making $40,000. We're going to use the 10 times salary. That's $400,000 saved up. The 4% rule is going to give you $1,333 per month for 25 years. Add in approximate Social Security amount. Again, this could be more, this could be less. We don't know your full work history. I'm just trying to estimate this. That's $1,600. That's going to give you almost $3,000 per month to live on. If you invested that $400,000 at 4% and you started taking it out at $1,300 per month with 2% increase each year, by the time 30 years rolls around, you'd be taking out $2,364. So this $1,300 would increase by 2% per year. And again, with a 22% tax rate. Here's a 65-year-old. Again, our average income for a 65-year-old was around $49,000. We're using $50,000 in this case to keep it simple. Times 10, that's $500,000. If we withdraw 4% of that for 25 years, that's $1,600 per month for 25 years. Add that to our estimated Social Security, $1,900 per month. You would have about $3,500 per month to live on. With the 4% return on the $500,000, we start with $1,600 per month. It's going to grow a 2% increase per year. We're going to take out 2% increase each year, and that's due to the fact that we haven't invested. The money's growing. By the 30th year, you'll be taking out $2,900, and of course, add that to your Social Security amount. As part of this survey with Northwest Mutual, 45% of Americans think there's a chance they will outlive their saving. 41% have taken no steps to address this. This is why we're taking a look at the option of at least investing some of this money or getting a better return than just in savings account, allowing your money to grow so that you can be somewhat inflation protected. Here's a situation with a 65-year-old earning $60,000 per year. So 10 times that, $600,000. Withdrawal 4% rule would be $2,000 per month. Estimated Social Security would be $2,100 per month. Gives them $4,100 per month to live on. If they invested this, minimum got a 4% return. You're going to start out with your $2,000 per month. You're going to increase your payments to yourself by 2% per year. So by the time you get to 30 years out, you'll have $3,588. So we're trying to avoid not outliving our income. Here's an example, 65 years old, making $70,000 times 10 of salary. That's $700,000. That's going to give them $2,300 per month. Estimated Social Security about $3,000 per month. Total monthly income $5,333. So they would have a little higher standard of living, perhaps improve their lifestyle. With 4% return on that $700,000, that's $2,333 per month, increasing it by 2% per year. By the time they get out 29 years, they'd be earning or withdrawing $4,186. So looking at the big picture here for a 65-year-old, if they're making $40,000, they'd want to have about $400,000. If you're making $49,000, which was the mid-range salary at that age, you would need to be saving about $490,000. If you were earning $90,000, then you would be wanting to save $900,000. Now, if a person wanted to get an idea of what they should have in the 55 to 64 range, use 8 times your salary. We have some figures here. So if you're earning, say, $52,000, which is the average income for a 55, 64-year-old, times 8 times the salary would be $416,000. Keep in mind, there's lots of factors here to consider. What's your lifestyle? Of course, your income and your age, health conditions, insurance costs, taxes. Do you own a house? Owning your own house by the time you're 65 years old is probably one of the biggest things a person can do. Also, the area of the country that the person is living in. You may be in an area where there's lower cost of living. All these factors can affect how much you actually need to have for retirement. Taking a look at some numbers on what a person may need to have to retire. This gives you a ballpark number. Keep in mind, we're all at different stages. The most important thing to do is to get started right now. Now, some people out there say you need $1 million to retire. I've heard people say $5 million. Some people say you don't need anything because you're going to die anyway. The thing to understand, the average person lives about 21 years past the age of 65. If you want to have a better lifestyle, not live just on Social Security only, then I definitely recommend that you save as much money as you can prior to the age of 65.